The youth. No longer is it okay for us to make decisions as to what we feel they should do. We already lived our youth. You know what I mean? So it's time for us to, God gave us two of these and one of these for a reason. We need to listen and watch more than we do a lot of talking. So
you can't. Everything is changing. You know what I mean? From everything outside to how we feel and everything, because it's two different worlds we live in, two different generations. So I definitely get where it's hard to communicate and hard to come to an agreement on one particular thing, because you see it from your eyes,
right,
from your perspective, and I might see it from another perspective. So.
You're locked into the vault with Donta Myles on Fire 716 Radio. Let's go.
What's going on today? What's going on, family? Listen, we out here today. We started a little earlier today. I'm just handling some business. What's going on, Thomas, Auntie, Cherie? How y'all feeling? Yeah. So before we get started, let's take care of business. Make sure you go to Fire 716 Radio. Make sure you go ahead and for those of you who are on my live right now, make sure you go lock in. You know what I mean? Go and follow, subscribe, download the app if you don't already have it. Great content. All right, so I'm here with my man Big Frank. What's going on, man? Yeah, man. Listen, today just one of them days. We're dealing with our bipolar Mother Nature.
Right.
I was about to go ahead and run and grab her a cigarette and a tampon because she is on something else today. But it's inevitable. This Western New York, you know how it is. We gonna get this weird weather.
It is what it is.
So, outside of that, man, how you been, good brother?
I'm doing good. Only thing I can say right now is whatever y'all got going on, stick it through.
Yeah.
Because not to be, I'm all preachy.
No,
it can just
good.
Turn at any moment.
Yeah.
And I think that I told him last Sunday that you're in the middle of a turn. So some things has happened would give me a little bit of encouragement to keep moving, keep going.
Sir.
And I'm like, God, I thank you.
That's right.
Because Lord, life is great. And,
That's right. That's right.
And, well, for sure, but I'm in a good spirit with that, and things it's getting busy. Having to do 3 things at the same time, where before it was like, I need something to do, and I was like, I need people to do that.
Right.
So that's encouraging. That's good. So it's good over here. It's good.
Well, that's sweet deal, man.
The kids got tempted to early head start. Y'all don't understand.
Yes, sir.
So things are really coming around.
No, that's a good thing, man. It's always a good thing. So yeah, hey, what's going on, Eb, Nick, Mark? So yeah, today we're just gonna keep it real nice and smooth. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like we can be some Q&A on whether it's our awesome Fire 716 app. For those of you who are logging in, I see you coming in. Make sure you go to Fire 716. Download that, right? What's going on, good brother? And so yeah, we're just here, man. I'm just here. Q&A. I know as of recent we've been doing I'm still going to be engaging the youth. And also, we were talking about the conditions of our city. There's a lot of different things. After because I'm actually on the show and people don't know how to not call. What's new in the city? I've been out of touch for the last 30, 40 days. Well, for the last, 18 days, we've been in recess at City Hall. So don't have to deal with a lot of the extra craziness. But I'm already preparing mentally for the circus. This is still, it's campaign season.
Yeah.
Everybody's, pretty much, working their way towards the first Tuesday in November. So we know what that's going to look like.
Right.
And, but other than that, man, just really trying to I got some news for y'all that's on here as well. I was able to make a connection with the Niagara Falls High School and the superintendent, Mr. Laurie, my guy who I need to bring on the show before he.
He's definitely listening.
Yeah, so I know he'll probably be on here, if not while we're on here or afterwards. I got you, Mr. Laurie. But I was able to connect another young man, Dante Richardson, and Jody from Stanford University. So what I'm glad to say that at our Niagara Falls High School this year, and you guys will be seeing the rollout of it. We'll be introducing 2 college courses. It's artificial intelligence, AI, and computer science courses from Stanford. And not only that, but they will afterwards, after completing those courses. What's going on, Rasheen and John, Victor? I see y'all, Jason. They will be having not just those college credits, but they will be having those college credits on a Stanford University transcript. So it will be the equivalent of them enrolling in Stanford and taking courses. Also, they have somewhat kind of like a mentorship program that for, the people who complete those courses, if they choose to go forward in the Pipe Dream Foundation, if they choose to go forward, they will be a part of the mentorship program that will mentor them into, positions of learning and teaching these different situations. As far as really what we talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
We talk about the, really kind of getting up to date when it comes down to, these technologies and so on and so forth. So
that's really encouraging information, because I told you Niagara Falls needs to be on the forward movement of what's happening in AI and technology. It's just where it's at. Because one thing we talk about these programs and taking people's jobs. It only take your job if you're not equipped to handle it. Somebody still has to program it.
Right.
Somebody still needs to know how to navigate through it, and that's just where we're headed.
Right.
So I know some of it's like, it's happening.
It's right.
Happening, so.
It's happening, and there's nothing. It's one of those you kind of just got to hop on the wave or drown. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And the good part about it is this program is actually not teaching them how to use what's already out there, but how to build their own by it.
Wow.
So I'm super excited about it. I excuse my lack of physical enthusiasm because I'm rather tired from, I've been up all morning, working the phones. But
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the time frame when they had like how to build your own computer courses.
Right.
And some people took advantage of it and some didn't.
Mm-hmm.
For those that did, now you are the engineer. You're the go-to person.
Right.
When something goes wrong, when they didn't understand it. And I pray and I truly hope that the city of Niagara Falls and the youth, and I thank God for the school board and what you brought to them, let it take advantage of what it is that's before them.
Right.
Truly, it's truly a great asset. I think, and it's I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So. I think that's one of the things I said, and I stayed on top of everything. I'm just like, hold on, wait, we can't let this opportunity slip, because at the end of the day, and this is going to be their first pilot program of them doing that in the high school. So Niagara Falls can be pretty much the innovator of something finally that makes sense.
For sure.
So for me, that's a big thing. So you said that's Nick Field. Hey, honestly, I mean, what happens is that if we don't keep up, all of this stuff is just gonna pass us by. And like again, I think we should have learned. And when I say we, I'm talking about really the older generation throughout not just New York, but just across the country. Period. When COVID hit, we realized how far behind we were. Didn't really know a lot of it. People didn't know how to use Zoom, Teams, and the basics of virtual communication. So with that being the case, it's like right now, I'm like, no better time than now. One and two, I'm not gonna be a city councilman that's just gonna be voting, just waiting for stuff to come to my desk to vote on. If there's opportunities, my network is my net worth. If there's opportunities to be had, I want to make sure that um, our kids have the opportunity to get these opportunities. And when you have a school, and that's another thing, just in case, because a lot of people, they try to dissect what you're saying. They're not asking us for a dime. Wow. This is all a part of their program. They were going to push it somewhere else if we didn't grab a hold of it. Wow. And so, with that being said, it's definitely a beautiful thing. I'm just excited. I'm excited. They're really reaching out to, a lot of the underserved community as well. You know what I mean? There's the guarantee 5 slots for, kids who are often suspended. Wow. Just can't have a, bad life per se.
Because honestly, sometimes if you don't introduce it to the children, they don't know.
Right.
And I think, and I'll say this, and I don't mind saying it and being that person, that's where we mess up a lot. I think even as a community outside of the program is that we stop presenting to the children the possibilities of what they could do, or to allow them to experiment or try out something. Therefore, they don't know it. Like, you don't know if this person likes plumbing because you haven't put them in the place to do plumbing. Right. You don't know they like carpentry work because you haven't put them in the place to put in carpentry work. And I get why some of the challenges exist. I get poverty, I get those challenges, but it's like you have to put the child in opportunities to find out if this is for them or not. Right. I think that what's coming forward through the school system in Stanford is a great opportunity for children to figure out is this the vein that I want to be in. Let me just be honest here. I get everybody's not going to want to do it. Right. And that's okay. This isn't for everybody, but it's an opportunity for some people. Right. And those who are going to take it are going to use it because guess what? We still need somebody to lay floors. Right. We still need mechanics. Right. So there's so many different components, and I just want to make sure that we are. The word I use a lot is succession. Right. Right. I talk to some of these business owners, both white and black. They're 60. They're 70. Right. They're 80, right. And they don't know. They want somebody to buy out the company. Right. They don't have anybody to carry it on. Like that's pass the torch. Pass the torch to, and that's not good. That's why things are closing. That's why things are making it because hey, I'm hardware store struggling. We've been here for 45 years, but you haven't passed the torch on. Yeah. And that makes a difference on the impact of being innovative and being with the nuances. Right. Because some companies could have survived here in Niagara Falls had you been online. Right. Had you been present. But you don't know how to do that, but you got to be able to have the next generation open it up. So I think I'm just excited. Keeping up. Yeah, man. It's different. It's easier to keep up than it is to catch up. Yeah, for sure. And so, man, listen, honestly, it's definitely a big thing because it gives the youth another alternative. I'm honestly, yes, I'm still a fan of trades for those who want to use their hands in trades, but you're looking at a generation that is not really trade driven. For sure. So if they're more internet focused, if they're more social media driven, content creating driven, artificial intelligence driven, chat GPT driven, there's a lot of things that, we just didn't know. But if we if I connect to somebody that knows about this type of stuff, absolutely, and they're willing to actually bring that here and as a curriculum and allow not just the opportunity for our children to learn it, but to receive something from it, to receive the credits and stuff from it. Now, and I don't mean to jump on this, but hey, what's going on, Mr. Laurie?
they've reached out to people,
Mm-hmm.
people in position in the city, and some people will give you the runarounds.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, if you don't, and that's one thing I've learned about the city here. Um, a lot of times, and that's why, again, another shout out to Mr. Laurie because he welcomed it with open arms. Um, uh, you know, when it came through, because he understood like this is something that would benefit our
Mm-hmm.
kids. Um, a lot of times in our city, ideas go by the wayside and they fall by the wayside because sometimes people in leadership, if it's not your idea, if you didn't bring it to the table, then I really can't support it without really giving it without giving it a chance, not even giving it a chance. So yeah, so all of that's something that I'm very, very, very excited about, and see where that goes. And I'm just gonna keep my eyes and ears open for any other, whatever other, you know, um, opportunities in the city of Niagara Falls, while yet and still, keep my ears to the plow, in regards to, you know, uh, what my job is as well, balancing this budget and making sure that we're not foolishly spending our tax dollars um in the city. So yeah, y'all can what's going on, Sylvester Lenny? um yeah, y'all can listen, y'all got about a good 12 minutes because it's a short show today. We're gonna do a half hour. That's kind of like a open forum Q&A. Y'all got any questions for me and questions for the boss man, Big Frank? Um, shoot them out here. Anybody saying anything on there?
Not over here
They
yet.
kicking back? Yeah, okay.
My this is just a son. I was sitting here, because I wonder if certain people are really down for a progressive Niagara.
Yeah. See, that's a different
Because and I
question.
know this is just a word, something that just literally just came to my mind. A progressive Niagara. And I know that we've been there's certain things that, like you say all the time, that we already have that doesn't require any additional work.
Right.
We have
Right.
a wonder.
Right.
But when you talk about the progressive of Niagara in this totality, I'll say this: I question if that's the true intent
Mhm.
of some of those who are in our government, but also in our city,
Right.
because we have so much potential
Mm-hmm.
to really do some dynamic things.
Mm-hmm.
And we've taken so many risks that has backfired for the negative.
Mm-hmm.
But why not take some risks for the positive?
Mhm.
That even if they did fall through, it would still be a benefit
Right.
in our presentation.
Right.
I just feel like we could be doing so much better.
Right.
And we don't have to reinvent the wheel or do something. We have things in place that we have cities around us who are
Right.
successfully executing things without the wonder that we have.
Right. Right.
And there are things that we can do. And I just feel like that I pray that 2023, 2024, and the years to come, that we're really making progressive steps
Right.
forward. And like I said, I believe that the Stanford connection is a great forward, a progressive
Right.
kind of movement. And I want to continue that because, like I said, media is where it's at.
Right.
Technology, internet, that's
Right.
just where we're moving. If you don't have anybody skilled to know how to operate that, we'll be in trouble.
Right.
We'll be in trouble.
As a community, as a city,
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that we kind of like put a focus on those type of things, such as and still, like, again, we're still being balanced. It's not like we're trying to throw trades or
Absolutely.
or schooling out, basic classroom studies out with the bathwater. But what we're trying to say is that we're gonna have to really open up more alternatives.
Absolutely. Like I say, trade has its place.
Yeah, it's always good. You're gonna always need a plumber. You're gonna need an electrician.
You always need.
Yeah.
But you need to also know how things are evolving. Just like that code book changes. The thing, if you don't know how to like no shout to my old school Cadillac people, my old school Cadillac folks.
Right.
There's certain things you just knew you could do.
Right.
But these new Cadillacs, they so tight together, they're so technology driven that if you don't have anybody with the knowledge of this computer concept, you'll
lost.
You'll be right there in
Right.
1994 Cadillac DeVille versus this Cadillac that looks like everything else.
Right.
But,
Come on now.
but it's just a matter of being able to merge the two. Like the Bible says this. I call the old because they know the way, but I call the young because they're strong.
Right.
But there's some wisdom or there's some foundations of our country of just living
right.
that we have to have.
Right.
But there's also nuances and things evolving that you can't dismiss what's coming.
Right.
And it's
right.
my hope that for Niagara Falls, we've done enough dismissing
right.
of what's coming for, this sounds crazy, for a immediate return, but for long-term failure. That sounds kind of
no, that's like, real.
It's good today, but down the line it's gonna hurt us.
Right.
No, that's not progression.
It's not at all.
That's not progression. Like, and stop. I don't know how I got here, Donta.
No, but that's real.
Selling false ideas.
Yeah.
Without doing your due diligence beforehand. We have these projects, these ideas, and we're trying to protect them, get them together, and people buy into it, and they invest into it, and then it flops.
Yeah.
And then there's no paper trail. There's no what happened, what's going on, because we didn't do our due diligence. And I think that's something that you push as a councilman. I appreciate that you truly ask them, how much does this cost?
Right.
What is the weight of this? How does this affect our city today? How does it affect us long term?
Right.
Because
right.
Certain deals you done made, I just don't. I said
just. Can't even imagine how. It's like how we got here. And I think that's another thing. And I think even when we talk about like local government, see, that's what makes me a lot different. Not even a lot different, because I'm not focused on my seat. I'm not focused on trying to keep a seat. I'm focused on the job that I have to do within my 4-year term. Yeah. So to make sure that, things are equitable and fair in the process, I challenge what needs to be challenged. What happens is, like you said, we make some immediate gratification decisions that make us look or feel good at the present time that ends up flopping and costing our taxpayers a lot of dollars later on. How does that happen? Because they're looking at, a lot of times they look at it as per the term that they're in. I only got this amount of time. So, or I'm trying to get reelected, so let me push this idea, push this, narrative of this is a great project, or this is that, and let's kick the can down the road until I get elected again. Right. It's like, so what happens is a lot of decisions that are being that are made. I mean, even in this process now, no one is oblivious to how I feel in regards to, let's just talk about it real quick. That project for the Centennial Park. I'm not, it's not, when I tell you I think the thing is that when something is brought out so quickly, so hear my heart, when something is brought out so quickly and pushed so hard and had such an immediate investment, if something that has the price tag of $150 million, the price tag of $150 million right off a rip, that's not including the interest that we're going to have to pay because of the simple fact is we have a BBB negative rating. And also, the staffing of this place, the maintenance of the place, when something has such a big, a big price tag, I feel like why is it being pushed so hard and so quickly? Why can't we step back for a minute, and just, why don't we really truly, if we really mean it, present it to the people? Take our time, because say, hey, listen, anything rush, if I get a cake and I put that cake and I whip everything up and I put it in the pan and I put it in that oven and it says that I need to bake it for 35 minutes, but I decide I want to pull it out after 10 minutes, it's not going to be any good, right? So that's kind of the way I look at this. Like, okay, why are we rushing? Why are we jumping into this eminent domain process? Why are we spending over $100,000? I'm sure
It makes it seem like you're trying to hide something, or there's an ulterior
motive behind it.
Besides doing, like I said, the word due diligence of this is what it's going to cost us. This is what it is. This is what it's going to take. And does it really make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And is it beneficial for a progress? I'm not using the word for a progressive Niagara,
right?
Or is it only good for a downtown Niagara,
right?
Is it only good for a quarter of Niagara? Like, because who suffers,
right?
Like, and no shout out to the Indians and you all. I get you. Y'all about y'all bread,
right?
It ain't even personal, but we made arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
We made situations or deals for something that was immediate, but which is long term hurting us,
right?
Which is long term not adding to us, but taking away for us,
right?
Like, come on, like
$1. We gave our civic center away for $1, and Mayor Ilya was in office at the time, and you know, we weren't at the table. You know, they thought it not robbery for our elected officials really to be at the bargaining table when it came down to these, agreements. And look at where we are now. And that's the portion again. We're looking at where this park, this 10 acres, pretty much it doesn't feed anything into the city, right? Hey, I'm gonna do text, Nick, because I know the show is it's gonna be a short show today. I only got a few minutes left. If you text what it is, because yeah, we definitely I'm definitely be back here again next week at our normal time at 5. Today is just we gotta handle some business. But yeah, this this 10 acres that's over there off of John B. Daly and 10th and Fall Street, that feeds when they get out of that building. If you built that building supposedly, basically, where is it going to push them? It's going to push them right through the Seneca Nation Hotel, up into the park, the state park. It's just going to keep feeding an area that we already have over invested in.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't make any sense. But and so when you ask those questions, you don't get real answers. That's the part that can be, a little so it's not about me and a personal vendetta against the mayor and all this crazy, foolishness. It's just that when I ask questions as, part of the governing body and I don't get answers, then it is what it is. I have to challenge and question it. How you doing, Julia? So with that being said, progressive, man, we have to move forward. It has to be forward movement as it pertains to our city. We have to be willing to get out of our comfort zones. We have to be willing to do something we haven't done before to achieve a result that we've never achieved before. And once we're willing to do that as a city, he said, then the city had a dream of entertainment complex. It's funny you said they're gonna do that. The Seneca Nations, they're gonna just continue the drive that they have right now.
And I'll say this. I said they can. I'm gonna say this and say this boldly with no fear.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do what they do, what the space they have outside of our contribution, whatever. They can build whatever, they can do whatever. But my question is, when it comes down to executing of something powerful, where are the people going to go?
Right.
You can run down to the casino, or we can build something that's going to be beneficial for the community overall, that we invest in it, our money goes there, and businesses around that is getting the attraction that's required. That, hey, I went to this event center here in the city of Niagara Falls. Oh, and I went across the street to this restaurant in the city of Niagara Falls. Oh, there's a hair store here. And that, like, start creating that community, because I'm gonna hold you. When you get to the casino, you go inside. There's no reason to leave.
Everything is just
right there.
Accessible.
Your jewelry store right there, your purse store right there. You can eat right there. You can gamble right there, because they understand the fact that once I get you here,
that's it. I'm keeping you here.
They're not even look. The Falls is the major attraction.
Right.
I got you. It's 4 minutes away.
Right.
Once I get you inside this building, there's no reason for
we
you
got
to leave.
you.
But if we can, as a community, set up a area, a location, the city of Niagara Falls, well, listen, once you've come into this place, we're so unique, so different, so diverse, so crazy that you want to come and see what's happening here from entertainment, from businesses, but we're not set up like that, unfortunately.
Right. Look at, and let's look at this. And so let's look at the area. We're talking about a space that's right across the street from the casino hotel. This is really crazy. If we really wanted development that was going to positively affect our city, why is it that we're not talking about Main Street?
Valid.
Why isn't it that we're not talking about Pine? Why is it that, we're not trying to find something that makes sense to actually build on Buffalo Avenue more so? Absolutely. The first city this first street that you actually pull off on, and once you get into the city of, soon as you get over the bridge coming out of Grand Island, the first exit is Buffalo Avenue.
There ain't nothing over there, but
nothing. Dead buildings, dead industry, and trust me, it doesn't matter how much you put into it. Heavy industry is not coming back. Kiss it goodbye. Goodbye. And this heavy industry is not coming back because it costs too much to keep it here. Yeah. So, with that being said, I know I'm cutting y'all off a little short.
We're going to get y'all full show.
Right. Y'all got to just kind of stick with us. We got to handle business. So, what's going on, Steve? Oh, McCaster, he done jumped on. But listen, y'all, catch us next week. We're going to be back here at 5:00 on Friday. I'm gonna see, because I know I still want to keep the whole idea of engaging the youth. So I may have someone on here, but somewhere between that or actually talking about keeping this conversation moving, because it makes all the sense in the world. So y'all have a wonderful weekend, man. Enjoy your family, enjoy yourselves, and then we'll see you guys again here next Friday. Peace and love. It's your boy Donta Myles, your city councilman. You know what I mean? And D Belly. So all these Tank, all this other good stuff. So I'll holler at you guys later. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you. See you next Friday here on The Vote, Fire 716 Radio.